Look at us. Look at us being grown-ups.
Look at us. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Straight No Chaser. We are here with the full cast and a beautiful addition, a super mom, a student, a teacher, everything, just all wrapped into one. Our friend Charisse. Say hey to the people.
Hi.
So we wanted to just talk about motherhood, about co-parenting, just all the stuff that comes with being a mom of boys. You are the lone she-wolf in the pack.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So let's take a drink. Our usual thing is to take a shot, but if you need a drink, do that.
Oh God, I left my drink in the kitchen. I'll get it later.
Yeah. Get the go for it. Go for it.
This is why you have kids.
Oh yes, Hunty, Hunter.
There we go.
Can you bring mommy's glass from the kitchen?
This is why you have kids.
That's why you made them. That's why you labored.
Yep.
So you labor no more in life.
This is why you. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Every day.
Every day. There we go.
Glass, not flask.
The service is great. Look at that.
Service with a smile. Ooh, love it.
All right.
Girl in the house. I feel like I deserve to be spoiled. Thank you, baby.
All right, guys. Cheers to a great episode. How babes?
Cheers.
Go play with your brother. Don't go outside and play.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's jump
Look at Rohan's face. What are you drinking?
I took a big gulp. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh gosh.
It hit me right here because the food that I scoffed down in 5 minutes.
Oh no.
Move it, real move it. Oh gosh. So we basically just have like questions, and you are hilarious online.
Thank
Every time
you.
you talk about the family, I'm like, yo, Charisse just need a talk show. Because we need
It really does.
I shouldn't. You know what? I started posting online, like the kids, because like I would be at home alone with them or anywhere alone with them, and they would do the wildest shit, and no one believed me, because whenever there were witnesses, they were perfect children. Like they were so nice. They were like, please and thank you, and everything's fine. And so I started taking videos like, look at these motherfuckers, like look what they're doing.
for real
Receipts.
Receipts. I started recording for receipts because I didn't believe me, my mother didn't believe me, nobody.
I mean, listen, they're boy children.
They were. I know. I was like, y'all literally, like I read up on it. So I was like, y'all really reserve your worst behavior for me. I was like, why are you doing this? And that's literally how I started posting these things. I was like, this is madness. What's going on?
Your posts are hilarious, though. You
They really are.
a talent for capturing them at the moment, like the moment that's worth sharing. You always capture it, and
I only get like half of it. That's not even all of it.
That's fine. That's fine because we believe you. Wherever you say no, we believe you.
listen, they did the thing and it's working. At this point, they can't take no prisoners. We offer you. We know you are among the oppressed.
Among the oppressed.
I'll be oppressed.
Oh God.
It's so bad. It's so much fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, tell us a bit about your art. Well, we know you, but like tell the people, a little bit of.
I don't even know where to start. Where do I even start? I'm a mom. That first. Before I had the kids, I always used to be the person to say I'm never gonna be that person who's just a mother. I'm gonna have my whole life by myself, and then I'm gonna have the kids, and it's gonna be fun me, and then it's gonna be mom me, and I'll have all these different me's. But yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
I mean, but before the kids, you were a wife. So you're a
Yes.
wife, you're a mom.
Yes, I was a forever student, and then I was a wife, and then I was a mom, and now I'm a student again. And in between that, I work sometimes.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, in between that, I work. I literally like, so when I had the kids, when I had Hunter, I was working at Sandals, and can I say the names?
Yeah.
You can say as much as you're comfortable saying.
Yeah.
I was working in the hotel industry, and I freaking loved it. I thought I would hate it because I never wanted to get into tourism. Like, I studied anything that was not tourism because I didn't want to do it. I just hated it. But then I got back home and I ended right back up in it, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I was working a lot of hours because I was having so much fun. And the first holiday I took was maternity leave, actually. That was yeah. The first holiday I took was maternity leave. I left here when I was 9 months pregnant to go out. I flew 9 months pregnant.
Girl,
leave. I didn't want to leave. I was having so much fun at work and everything, and I was just enjoying myself. And then I came back from maternity leave a little bit early, like a couple weeks early, and mommy would have to bring Hunter to the hotel so that I could breastfeed him, and she would bring him back home to put him to bed, you know? And yeah, and that went on for a few months, and I was like, it didn't dawn on me until one of my team members was like, Sharice, you know, that's not normal. It's not normal for you to breastfeed the kid at work and send him back home and you stay here at work. Like, I know regular. But it didn't dawn on me because I was having fun, and then I had such an amazing support system at home that I felt like everything was, you know, balanced, you know. But then Hunter, he called my mother Mama, and I thought, well, maybe he means grandma and it's short, you know. But then he called his babysitter Mama, and I was like, oh, and he never called me Mama, and I was like, ah, and I cried. I cried for about a month. About a month. Yeah, and that's when I decided I was going to start my own business because I needed to bring them to work with me. Because I knew wherever I worked, like whoever I worked for, wherever I worked, I was going to do the same thing. You know, I didn't have that balance because I was too comfortable with my support system, you know? So I needed to do my own thing, start my own business so that I could bring them to work and make my own hours. And when they have a show or concert at school or competition or something, I needed to be able to say, all right, later, gone. You know, the kids are doing something, I need to be there. So that's literally the only reason I started Sun Hunters.
Okay.
That's
I love that though.
That is a good reason though.
That's an amazing
reason. I just needed to be able to bring the kids to work. That was literally it. I needed to bring the kids to work because I was like, what is happening to me? Like, why is my child not calling me Mama? Like, he called on everybody else Mommy except for me. What's going on? I know.
My guy.
No, I was like, nigga, call me Mom.
Oh man.
Funny, but it's also heartbreaking.
I'm telling you, I was like, why don't you love me, kid? Like, what?
Why don't you love me, kid? Oh no.
I was like, you made me fat. Like,
you made me fat.
And I'm like, boobs will never be big. I have stretch marks. Like, just look at me.
That's fucked up though.
That's the least you can do.
That's some fucked up shit.
The least you can do.
The least you can do is watch me in my face and call me Mama. After
yes,
you
like, what's that one? The boy would just walk straight past me and like everybody else Mama except me. I'm like, what was that? So yeah,
act of war. That is an act of war.
And yeah, it was and this child he's still very just mean to me. No one else. He's real cool with everybody else, but he's very mean to me.
Imagine you go through all of this with this little boy to be mean to you specifically.
Specifically me.
Oh, man.
You're not bad, man. You could quote
I'm like,
right?
Please.
Bad mind.
Next to me.
Oh my
The only
gosh.
person that you're mean to is your mother.
You understand? It's like, oh my God.
No, leave it to them. Leave it to them.
Bad mind.
Charisse,
Bad
along those lines, like I have a friend who's similar. Like she really loves her career. She's a psychologist, and she's been on maternity leave. I think she stayed home for a year with the baby. And I think women in general have like this sense of guilt. Like they try to do this narrative of like women can't have everything, right? It's either children or the career, the wife, whatever. And once a woman tries to do that, I personally feel like there's a kind of guilt factor that kind tends to be played, you know, on a woman mostly. Did you feel any part like, and my friend, she's like, I really enjoy going to work, and sometimes I enjoy having a break from my baby. Like, did you ever feel anything like that, of like a sense of guilt, even though you shouldn't feel that way? But did you ever feel that, knowing that you enjoyed your work so much?
So no one ever made me feel guilty. And the only time that I felt guilty is when I learned, because mommy tried to hide it from me, that he was calling everybody else mama. And when I heard it, he had already been doing it for a couple of weeks, you know. So when I learned that, when I heard him calling everyone else mama, that's when I started to feel really guilty, because I was like, why is he not calling me that, you know? Like, obviously he can say the word, so why isn't he referring to me as that? You know, what am I doing wrong? You know, like, everything with work is amazing, and I thought everything at home was great, but then here's my baby, who I love more than life itself, calling everybody else mama, and that's when I started to spiral. Like, I cried every day. Day.
That's fucking hard.
Yeah, it was just that, you know, because my mom, my mother-in-law, both sets of grandparents, grandmothers, grandfathers, there were aunts and uncles and all that, everybody just really rallied. And so they all had the kids, and they all wanted to have the kids, and they all pitched in. And so they never really missed me, because they had so many other people there all the time to keep them busy. And so I felt like there are too many people pitching in where I should be.
Right.
So I nobody ever made me feel guilty. Everybody was hella supportive about me being at work and working all the hours that I was working, and they were fine. Everybody was okay, but I felt like trash. I felt really bad. I was like, if I'm going to be doing this, I need to have my kids with me while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, and my mom was also really, really hugely supportive, and my husband, both of them. They were both like, well, it's good for them to see you working. You know, it's good for them to see you putting in this effort. So if you're going to do this, you may as well have them with you doing it. So yeah, we opened a business. I was like, I put 2 cribs in the office. So I had them both in the office with me all the time. So I was like on calls and like checking in guests walking around with a stroller.
I love it.
You know?
I was like, no more babysitters, you're with me now. Yeah, but that only lasted a little while. I couldn't deal with them. I had them too much.
Okay, now I've had enough of you. Please.
Yeah, onward. I've had enough. Now that you know who your mother is, you can go back to the other people.
Just making sure that is imprinted.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Hey, y'all want to go in with the questions?
Let's do it.
Okay, I see one of them now. Listen,
you
don't get a chance.
No, they're always around.
Wait. Hello.
They're both here. They're both here.
So good. What up, babies?
Hi.
They're just like, I'm just gonna latch on to mommy and stay here.
All the time.
Hi, Hunter.
I'm gonna put my head.
Guys, give me 1 sec. Let me just.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm gonna go turn on my lights.
Oh. That's why you're looking at the vampire in the corner there.
Hi, Connor.
Vampire.
She was looking a little great just now.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
The way he just sat down there.
Hi.
Hi, Connor.
Do y'all want to do the questions, like, go around one, or y'all just want to go ahead and do it?
Let's do the questions. What was the first signal? What does that mean? Everybody answer?
No, because it's not targeted to us. She was asking if everybody wants to ask a different question.
Yeah, but if one person wants to do it, that's fine too.
I prefer if one person does.
Yeah, because we don't know the order. Everybody is on their own screen.
Hold on, look out. Let mommy sit down. You all go outside and play. The AC is on. You have to close the door. Go outside and play.
Okay.
Yes, he will. Go ahead. You guys can hear me? Hunter plugged in his head.
Yeah.
He wanted to hear what we were saying in his headphones.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go ahead.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, okay.
All right. I don't mind.
That Ro was asking.
You want me to do it?
Oh, done. Go,
I
Giselle.
will do the questions, and Ro, you could just say the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some rapid fire questions for you, right? So don't think about it too much.
Already.
Let's go through. Question number 1. Do you remember when you realized you were pregnant the first time?
Yes. Lord. That was drama.
Share.
That was both drama and traumatic. Lord have mercy. Shall I tell the story?
Yes,
Please. We're making this a clip by itself.
What the Raz? Okay, so I was sitting in my office in the middle of a meeting with a couple of my team members. And like sometimes when you just drift off, your mind just drifts off. So my mind drifted off. I'm thinking about all kind of things. And then all of a sudden I'm like, girl, wait, when last you had your period? So I was never one of those girls who tracked. I never tracked my period. I never had difficult. I had like 2-3 day periods. So if I miss a couple, I wouldn't really notice, So I immediately started to panic. So I very quickly wrapped up the meeting and I ran to Gittins, like full sprint to the car to get to Gittins Pharmacy. I bought like 10 pregnancy tests, like every brand, because I say I need to make sure this thing accurate. Like every brand they had. About 2. Got back to the office and I was like, Sharice, maybe this isn't the place to do this test. Maybe you should wait till it gets home. Well, I sat
maybe
2.5 seconds before I was like, nah, girl, I don't know. So I went to the bathroom and I took the first one and the shit said positive. I was like, no. So then I very quickly took them all. All of them.
Freaking weak.
Oh my God.
And they all were positive. Oh my Lord.
Oh, not even one of them was
on the JOB. Oh shit.
No, on the job. So Melissa was the assistant manager at the time. Yeah, she was the assistant manager at the time. So me and her are now like best of friends. So she walks into the office and I'm devastated. Like on the floor under my desk, like trying to figure out what is life. So she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's wrong? I was like, Melissa, I'm pregnant. She's like, you're what? I was like, but you're pregnant. Yeah, so as soon as I say the words, I start to bawl like convulsing bawling. So of course, the first person I call is my mother. So, don't call my husband a mother. So mommy. So mommy's like hearing me bawling on the phone. She's like, what's the matter? Before she hears anything, I'm on my way.
Oh, gotta love a mother.
Yeah, right.
I was like, no, you don't need to come. She's like, well, tell me what's wrong. She's like, I'm pregnant. She's like, you stupid ass. That's what you call me crying for. You're a married woman and you're working. Where you supposed to be not pregnant?
You know what? That was the reality.
She's probably like, yes.
Honestly, Giselle, facts is facts. Yeah. What you really expected?
I was like,
what else is like really?
I didn't understand.
You were fulfilling your purpose in the ecosystem. What are you really calling her for?
Why you bother the lady?
I was so upset that she was so just like, what's your scene? You know, because I was terrified. Listen, you don't understand, you know, at that point I was hungover. Boy. I'm telling you, like, I was wondering, why am I having 3-day hangovers? What's going on? I'm telling you, it was so bad. I was nowhere ready for a kid. I just started to enjoy making my nice money.
I know you gotta share it in school fees.
You understand how to pay school fees? What's that one?
Even before school fees is Pampers, because them shit's not cheap.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was devastated. I cried.
So, having a kid was in your plan at that point, basically?
No, not at all.
So that's the second question. Rapid fire. Did you always want to have kids?
Yeah, I knew I was going to have kids. I just didn't want kids at that point. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to have a good ass time. I just started to make my money. I wanted to go and spend stupid money. You understand?
But you was bambaing.
And now you have big boys.
No, I have big boys.
Yeah.
I go in Rockstone dance.
You spend your big money on the 10 pregnancy test.
Oh my God.
I just kept thinking about the poor Gittins lady who was like, listen, what kind of fetch she went to last
night? And the thing is, after buying the pregnancy test, I was like, I might need more birth control.
Question, Cherise, do you remember what fete it was that you went to? Because you did say you went out, you fete,
It was more likely than not, it was a cruise. Because I used to be bad on them Sunday cruise.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I remember it's a good Sunday cruise.
Remember church? Church on Rum Runner every Sunday.
I mean,
God, I never seen Rum Runner.
Really used to be very present on them Woburn cruise. That was the days of a good Woburn Rum Runner cruise.
Woburn cruise, you remember Woburn cruises? I only made it to
listen. That shit was epic as fuck.
Wait, so then how did you announce it to your husband? Did you like do a surprise, or did you just be like, you came home from work and I got pregnant?
I was devastated. I called, he crying too. I didn't have time for that. I was like, what is this? I didn't have no time for that.
Couldn't even clean it up. She was like, yo, dude, we have problems.
Look what you did.
Like, you got me. This was not the plan. Like, how did this happen? I'm on all the birth control.
You did this.
I'm done. I cannot.
See you. Sperm flying everywhere.
Because I'm telling you, we had like this whole plan, right? Because I had been on birth control for that point for like a lot of years, like at least 10 years. I was on birth control. No, I lied, not 10 years. It was about 7 years at that point. And I had spoken to my doctor, who told me that it would take a while to conceive after coming off of birth control for that long. You know, so we were just discussing coming off of birth control. You know, and I was like, well, it'll take a while. So we'll plan when I come off, and then a few months later, maybe it might take up to a year. You know, we have some time. I don't think you can bring it out all the times I'm pregnant already. I was like 2.5 months pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. Like, the child had a whole heartbeat.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, it was really bad.
For some myrtles.
What?
She said congratulations to you and him fertile myrtles.
Yo, no, for real. Like, this man, if he gets too close to me, I get pregnant. It's a problem. I got pregnant really easily. I don't know why. I don't know if it's him or if it's me or but yo, if that man sneezes,
things are working. Things are working.
Them eggs be egging, them sperm be sperming.
Boy.
Listen, your diet be dieting.
Yo.
Right?
I
love that. Question number 3. Kids are embarrassing. Do you remember a time when your children did something that was hilarious and embarrassing? Of course you remember. So
which one should I pick? There's like a list. The one that comes to mind first, though. So Connor's always the one. Connor's the second boy. We're in the supermarket, and I remember the aisle that we were in. We're in aisle 1 of the supermarket. And Connor and Hunter run over to the second aisle. And I hear my child start to burst out in song at the top of his lungs. Coconut water, it's good for your daughter. I'm like, oh. I could have melted. The earth could have opened up and taken me in because the whole supermarket started to laugh. I was like, boy, don't come over here and call me mommy.
Oh. Like,
but that's cute though. That's cute.
Yo, this boy.
Mother to aisle 2, and Sharice is there like,
no,
there's no mother.
Pick anyone else.
I like it though. I absolutely like it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, boy.
I have a question similar to that, but has there been a time where like the boys have said, like, you know how people say kids are like brutally honest?
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily mean to be mean, but have the boys ever said anything to you? Like, for example, my niece told me I had a big butt and couldn't sit on her toy chair.
Oh, yeah.
So did have the boys ever said anything?
Yeah, Connor all the time. Connor told me I'm fat. He's like, Mommy, why is your tummy so big? Yeah.
Listen, kids be out of time.
Oh, and I was working out, and I was doing squats, and he's like, why are you doing that exercise? And I was like, so to get my butt nice and firm, make my butt stronger so I can run. He's like, but your butt's already so big. It's like, thank you, Connor, so much. Appreciate you so much.
This is too much.
That's what the is.
Yeah,
real quick,
Connor, okay.
No, like y'all, I have couple fears when it comes to parenting and me. But you imagine a little me?
Yeah.
And just think of anybody that would be paired with me to make this little us. Right? Just think about that person. And then
I'm not worried, because I know that you are well equipped to handle a little you.
A little you.
It's the rest of us I'm worried about.
It's us I'm worried about because I can barely take on she.
I know you'll be fine. You put that bitch in her place. It's the rest of us I'm worried about.
We had a deal. We had a deal.
Okay. Thanks, friends.
She, they, them.
What
is she? The rest of us I feel sorry for.
I'm real scared. Like, I've always thought about like Giselle, honestly, you've crafted yourself to be the person that you are. That child cannot be anything but your child. That child is so out of order. It's ridiculous.
But it's so much fun though, seeing them behave just like you. It's like, am I really that bad?
It's like the grandparents really having a joy with this.
Experience of a moment when you really had to face yourself through your children?
Oh, all the time, especially with Connor. So each of us got one child. Hunter is exactly like his father in every way, and I do not understand him. Like, we don't understand each other. It's a whole mutual thing. Like, we don't get each other. It's like, I love you more than life itself, but I don't get you. So there are lots of times where I have to defer things with Hunter to his father because it's like, you get this, I do not. Like, I am trying. I feel like you're better equipped to handle this situation with this child. But with Connor's completely my child, like completely, utterly my child, and literally every word that comes out of his mouth, I hear myself saying it. So it's so bad because I'm like, I don't remember being this awful. I feel like I was never this bad, but
your parents are probably laughing at you though.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. They absolutely love it. They're like, yeah, payback is a bitch.
I have a friend in Trinidad. She has two daughters, and big up you, Kat. Her first daughter is very much like the dad, as you would say, like very much. But you see that second one? Hey, that one is just like her mother. And because Kat and I are very similar in how we behave and how we speak and stuff, she's very similar to me. She's just like, look what your child do. And and she was doing some nonsense and she put her on the phone and I was like, yo. And she was like, hello, Giselle. And I was like, yo, you can't be doing this stuff. All right, cool, I'll never do it again.
Nah.
The parents really do tell you, like, when you're teenagers and you're acting out, like, wait until you have children and you would understand.
Yeah.
I'm noting that all Sharice's story so far is, Connor. So you know the kind of child Sharice was.
I was Lord mercy. Watch. Listen, Connor and I are very, very similar in the way that we're very good with realizing exactly where the boundaries are and staying exactly on the boundary.
It's like touch.
It's like touch. I'm just it.
It's like the outer line of the boundary.
Outer line is right there.
I could already see that my kids are going to gravitate to y'all because of certain things. But all the children, Auntie Giselle?
No.
I am so waiting. I'm waiting. You see, Rohan child? That child will love me the most. What you know? That child will love me the most.
Giselle gonna return that child as little Giselle back to Rohan, eh?
Absolutely not. I don't take that rest of my life.
Oh, little Sangeet, go to bed. You go to bed.
What is his name?
Sangeet, Rohan's child.
No. I like Sangeet. Rohan, have you learned the name of my kid?
What's your kid name?
Saffron.
Saffron?
Tandoori.
Tandoori. Okay. Goodbye, ladies.
What she said?
She said tandoori.
Tandoori.
What is going to this?
She went from Ghanaians on your there. She said, what is cunt?
Tandoori.
Tandoori.
There's a little Indian coming out of
you know,
That's my baby's name.
Like you had to write it to music notes.
Yeah.
Tandoori.
So you're gonna have a child called Nan?
I actually like that.
I like Nana.
I like Nan.
Do not.
I like that name.
I'm calling a child Dalpuri.
I can imagine the pickup lines men would say to a kid named Nan. Hey, can I get a little Nan with my meats? Hey, watch that. Y'all need to understand, like, when you think about names, think about how many different ways can people use
Yeah, and you know when you go off to eat, we still know you're eating because of the chewing.
Okay, fine. But
you
also,
can eat on camera, girl.
But also, Auntie Curry, Auntie Basmati,
Ma'am.
And listen, Rohan, I ain't ready for you. Auntie Vashti on the side there. All you cannot speak, okay? Leave Tandoori alone.
Tandoori. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I mean they're just saying based on the name.
When y'all ready to shigonya in the name of masala, do not talk to me.
Oh, nah, and she said it the nah.
Jesus come now, Auntie Gayana.
Yo, that should be a t-shirt, you know. Nashigunya in the name of masala. I did. I can't. All right. Anyway, let me carry on to the next question.
Please.
Next question. How is it being the lone she-wolf in the pack?
I love it because nobody steals my clothes.
Upside.
I exclusively shop in my mother's and sister's closets. So I fully expect that if I have a daughter, she'll do the same to me. And right now, my clothes safe. So
I would have thought of that, of all the things. I would not have thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a good kid. Like I was a good girl. My parents had two rules when I was growing up. Was do good in school and don't have sex. Those were the two things they said to me. Do good in school and don't have sex. That was it. I could go to all the parties, all the lines, all the things. I had fabulous time in school. And I followed those two rules because I know if I break one, my fed done. And I love to fet. I love a good fet. So I did not have sex and I did good in school and I just drank all the rum.
That's a life. That's a good life.
Yeah, I had fun. I had a fabulous time. So I'm not worried.
Listen, that's our life right now.
I'm telling you. So
we do good in school and we don't have sex.
Especially that part.
Giselle, I'm trying to be a team player.
I can't speak.
No, because you see, these things just go on my record too. When everybody record together and we lie.
I'm not lying. Because let the record show that anytime there's an opportunity for sex, my period stays the longest.
I feel that one.
Sabotage.
God is protecting your man in the best, worst way. He's protecting her in the best, worst way.
Every time. I have yeast infections maybe once every several years. And I haven't had one since a couple years ago until a man messaged me. And I was like, maybe I'll go. Yeast infection in my ass.
Jesus protect you from that man. That man was a dirty man.
Like he sent the locust, he sent that yeast.
Jesus protected you from him.
Because the time before that,
it was Mother Nature.
I got the cold. I had COVID cold, basically. I was like, hey, now
Listen, let me tell you what happened there. Jesus took the wheel and he said, you know what?
0.
Reverse.
Back it up.
Back it up.
Oh, bless God. You know why?
We forward never.
Hey, I mean, for all the mercies, even a celibate life is, whatever. Thank God.
Oh God, Lord. Yeah. Narrow.
Just one Angel Gabriel, when he writing down things, don't include Giselle in the nonsense. Just don't include Giselle in the nonsense. Anyway, Sharice, back to you. What is the hardest thing about parenting for you?
For me, it's parenting the different personalities. Yeah, because the three of them have very different personalities. Particularly Hunter and Connor are polar opposites to each other. So it's that is kind of hard to parent them because I'm very big on fairness and everybody gets the same. Like literally when we buy something, we buy it for everybody, like matching everything. So everything is fair and even and equitable, but they're just so different, so it's and they're so close in age. Hunter and Connor are 18 months apart, so it's like, it's hard to parent them the same, but different. Yeah, that's part. Also the guilt of being busy and not being able to be with them all the time. Like I'm with them a lot, but sometimes I just feel badly. I feel still like I'm not with them enough. Because they would go off and spend weekends with their grandparents here and weekend with a grandparent there and doing all the things, and I still feel like I should be there more or I could be doing more. I always feel like I could be doing more, but definitely the parenting, the different personalities is the hardest.
Okay. What makes it easy?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun having boys. Boys are disgusting. They're absolutely filthy creatures. They fart and they poo and they just do the grossest shit, man. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. they love animals. I love animals, but they love the little creeping, crawling, gross things. All the insects with all the legs and the tails and the slime, and they love that shit. And they're always bringing it around. I'm like, please, Jesus, make them stop. And they never want to bathe, and they never want to brush their teeth, and they never want to wash their hands. And I'm like, how are you alive? You are crawling with microbes. I can see the germs.
That's what's keeping them alive.
I can see the germs on you. And it's just a lot of fun, but it's so gross.
Wow. I don't know how fun and gross in the same sentence.
It's fun. It's fun when you see, because listen, when you see the little people that you created and like you molded and you shaped and you did all things going off and being independent and like doing their things and being actual little people, everything that they do is so much fun to see. Like even when they curse.
What words have they used so far?
So Connor at one point enjoyed saying the word shit. Like he really enjoyed the word shit. Like he'd be like shit. Just walk around like you just walking in the supermarket, shit. Like he'd be sitting there on the phone, like, shit. I would just really try to ignore it, not to give him a reaction. But sometimes I'm like, boy, it's okay to say it in front of mommy, but you can't say it in front of people because they'll think I'm a bad mother. Like he went to school, he's like, shit. He told his teacher. So you had asked me about the most embarrassing thing. Again, with Connor. So Connor, again, just like me, he does not enjoy doing work, but he does it please. So his teacher was trying to get him to get some work done, and I told her any means possible, like do what you have to do to get him to get his shit done, whatever you had to do, just do it. So she calls me, she's like, well, Sharice, I don't know what else to do because look what just happened. She's like, she told Connor that if he didn't finish his work, that he would have to close the book and go sit in timeout, and he would not get to go play at lunchtime. So Connor looks at her and he closes the book and he gets up and goes and sits in timeout. He's like, I don't want to go outside. Oh. I'm telling you. So how, like that? Those are the personalities. Yeah. Those are the child was like 3 years old at the time. Those are the personalities that you have to deal with. Yeah. And that's when I was like, that is my kid.
I respect that. I respect that.
I'm telling you.
Because if we don't want to work and we get to have a nice quiet evening inside, then why the fuck not? This is I respect it and I fuck with it.
I'm telling you, and that's something that Hunter would never do. Xavier would never do, ever. Because they're respectful children, but that one rude. They're haunted, but they respect. That one.
I am very glad that you mentioned Xavier would do it to me, though. Let's just put that out there. Xavier would do it to me, and I feel like he has. Just not exactly the same. Similar, but we move. The next question is, you have a blended family, and how do you make it work?
So I went into it knowing that Xavier had 2 amazing parents already, and he didn't need a third one. Like he did not need another parent. So I never tried to be another parent with him. So I was like, I'm gonna be a fun auntie. So I have just always been fun auntie. In fact, the other day I asked him, I was like, Zabe, like, how do you see me? Like, what am I to you? He's like, best friend. I was like,
aww.
Aww. You cried?
I would cry.
I would cry too.
That's cryable material.
I'm telling you. So that's all I ever wanted to be, to say it was like a really good friend. Because like Zabe, is a great kid, but Zabe can be a douchebag just like his brothers. So when he gets in deep shit with his parents, or if they both tell him no to something, he'll call me and I'll be like, all right, well, what show you getting out of this one now? And we'd come up, we'd concoct a plan to bamboozle both of them.
The next question may not apply.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. The next question may not apply. Did you or do you feel comfortable being a disciplinarian to your bonus kid? Well, clearly,
You were the one concocting plans?
concocting plans with him.
She is the drama.
I've never had to be a disciplinarian for Xavier because he's not a kid that requires like hardcore discipline. He's never been that kid. You know, Xavier hardly ever cried growing up. Xavier, in fact, the first time that I saw Zai punish Xavier, I picked him up and I ran into another room and we both cried together. I was like, don't you ever shout at him again. It was not until he started talking back, I was like, all right, yeah, hang low. I was like,
not the same. Like, no, he's such a cool kid.
He really is.
So cool.
He really is. But the first time I hear him talk back, it's so underneath. It's so quiet.
That
and
is it.
So underneath. It's
thing.
Like
that is the thing.
But also, I respect. If you hear somebody, I respect the talk back.
I don't just, it's not even that I respect the talk back. I respect the level of self-control for a young man his age, because he's able to maintain such a calm state. Like, you cannot shake me. I am the rock of fucking Gibraltar. You will not mess with my peace. That is him. His disposition is like so... I admire it.
Get up.
And that's exactly why I do not envy his parents when they have to discipline him, because it's like, how do you discipline that? Xavier's like,
he don't care. I used to teach him. I trying to do some kind of, he's like, okay, so
literally,
exactly at the shoulders and everything.
Okay.
Listen, the first time I got the shoulders, I was like, hey, boy.
Listen, when I tell him X, Y, Z, and I'm thinking I'm putting down this like grand rule, I'm like, this is the consequence. He's like, okay.
Like, the other day he's like, okay. I was like, like, what is?
But at the same time, he's so sweet, because I used to get the shoulder a lot, like in grade 6, and then at the same time, he not feeling well, and he would come and he's like, you could call Sharif, you could call Daddy, and I'm like, but you were just so mean.
I know.
But he need you now.
I know.
I'm so sorry. Like, I want to hold you in my arms like this. He's really a sweet kid.
In a nutshell. Yes.
He really is a sweet kid. So next is, what is the best thing about being a blended family?
Xavier was my test kid. I got to have a test kid. You know, so I got to see what it was like to be a parent before I was like a full-blown having to have kids parents. You know, Xavier was an amazing baby. Xavier was an amazing baby. He was such an easy kid, and I just love that kid so goddamn much, you know. So when I was ready to have kids, you know, I thought that it would have been more like Zave, not knowing that I was the like terrible one in the equation. So like my kids would be nothing like Xavier. I was like, am I defective? Why aren't my kids like that kid? And I'm like, something broke. What happened? You know, it was amazing seeing, you know how they say you don't love your husband until you see your husband with your kid. that's how it was with Zai and Zabe. Like I fell in love with Zai through Zabe.
Aww.
Yeah, he was just such an amazing kid. And to see him parenting Xavier was just, it was amazing how he was with Zabe. And I loved to see it. So I was like, I trusted that he was already a good dad. So it made things a lot easier when we did get engaged. Because we weren't planning on getting married. We never discussed marriage, but I already knew that he was going to be a good dad. So when he did ask, I was like, well, yeah, already a good dad. So I don't really have to think.
You're like, check.
Yeah, exactly. So checked a lot of boxes.
Okay. Next up, good cop or bad cop? Even though I realized it's crooked cop one time, good cop or bad cop?
I'm a crooked cop. I play all the fields. I play both sides of the field.
Okay.
I play both sides of the field. No, it depends on the child, to be honest. It really does. It depends on the child. With Xavier, I'm crooked cop because I just did like you gotta manipulate his mother, so you gotta manipulate his father, so if you want to get what you want. With Hunter, I am good cop because I just want him to love me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
I felt that one.
I know.
Hunter just give me a hard time.
Yeah, I can't discipline Hunter because I just want him to love me, man. And with Connor, I am definitely bad cop because I see his shit when nobody else sees his shit.
He's you.
I see in me, like pulling all my tricks. So it's like, I know what you're doing. And
It's a hard pass one time. No.
Like his dad thinks it's all so cool. I'm like, no, it is not so cool. It's cool now, but then in 10 years, he's going to be breaking out of school.
Oh.
Like manipulating the shit out of you. So no.
No.
Wow. The next question is, I guess for all of us, if we care to share, is there anything you bring from your own raising that you have brought into raising your child, or is there anything from your own upbringing that you want to bring to raising your children?
Everything from my upbringing. Everything. I think it's with both of us, both Zai and I. Everything from our upbringing we bring to our kids. We do the same with our kids because we both had amazing childhoods. Like there's literally nothing we can complain about from both our childhoods. And I'm so happy that our kids have two sets of incredible grandparents who always have input on how they should be raised. And what we should be doing. But we do, both of us, pull from our childhood experiences and how we were raised to raise the boys. Like we're a little bit more laid back than our parents were, but all of the principles and the fundamental things, all of the grounding they have, except church. We fall down on church. we fall down real bad on church. You want to get church in school or something or somewhere else, but they can get church home. So that's the one thing that in our game that we had.
Oh man.
But it was by force, man. Church was always by force. So I got
Yeah. That was temple for us.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe when I get older and closer to God and closer to death, I'll try.
Honesty for me.
Listen, I appreciate it, but also ease me up. Oh God.
Oh God.
I think for me, like when I get there, my parents did a really good job of having like, I don't know what the correct term is, like no gender roles in the household. Like I'm the only girl, like I'm the oldest and the only girl, and my brothers had to do dishes, they had to help with that. Like so essentially like I had to help take out the trash. Right? Even though I used to be them like, that's a boy's job, but like they did a really good job. And I think it was really important for them, at least for me being someone that was going to, turn and grow up as a woman as well, to make sure that like us kids felt heard when we needed to say something. Not necessarily that they were going to agree, right? But like making sure they wouldn't shut us down if like we were crying about something or anything like that. So that is what I hold value. And of course, the value of a village. Coming from a full Indian background, we also have very much extended families, grandparents, all that kind of stuff. So like the value of a village when it comes to just family, orientation.
I think that's definitely me. Like, I was definitely brought up by the village. Like, I lived with my grandparents and my mom. Like, we all lived in one house. And it was aunties there, down the street, down the road. Everybody's close by, so I never felt like I was without family. And I definitely would bring that with my kids. Like, it's a village to raise all of us. And there was a lot of us kids acting bad. So, like, we need a whole village. The boys were all terrible. The girls, like my grandfather still says, Lord, y'all were angels because them rest there, they didn't make sense. The boys look terrible. But the village brought us up. And like, I definitely would bring that into upbringing any spawn of mine.
That village concept is definitely for real. I think a lot of us in our generations, we never really experienced daycare and things like that because there was always someone at home who would take care of the kids. There was always a safe space to just dump. I'm saying dump. I don't, there was always a space in the middle of the community between like the aunties, the older cousins, the older siblings, the extended family. There was always that safe space where, okay, this is the children's caretaking center, you just put all of them fuckers in this one place. There's this one designated adult who is responsible for all of them. We just pool all the children. And I can feel the benefits of it because all of us who grew up in that kind of a setting, we're so close to our cousins because of it. Especially like me, I don't really have siblings like that, but I grew up with my cousins and we close because we grew up in our grandparents' house. That was the place. That's where all the kids were. With the grandparents. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have that kind of support. So
it definitely is. Like, I would say the same, like the whole family upbringing. I mean, it's different for me, seeing that I live in Grenada. I'm Trinidadian. I have no idea whence and where's I will have this child. So, but I'm still big on the family and growing up with people around you and your relatives and just having that kind of community. But I also grew up in a family that was very cultural in terms of like carnival in Trinidad. And I listened to music from eons before my time. And like, it was just always a part of me. Like, everybody know I grew up loving music and all of that and just anything to do with entertainment stuff. And so I would want to bring up my children in a similar way. Once they love it. If they don't like it, hey, you're not my kid, but cool, but I would love to put them or immerse them in some sort of culture wherever we at. So that
kind of looking man.
Yeah, hey, I'm not saying it's the Caribbean only in it, but yeah. So yeah. sorry. But yeah, culture for me as well as the community upbringing. And the next question goes to, is there anything that you, Cherie, stayed away from or we would like to stay away from our own upbringing of children?
Not from any.
Hi, little Cherise.
Oh, love so mommy.
It's a trick. Come on, guys. That was too easy.
I can't say that there's anything that I have actively tried to stay away from. I mean, there's an obvious stay away from the pedophiles and the killers. but I haven't. I honestly can't say that there's like any generational curse that I've had to break. Like, I feel like if there were any generational curses to break, it was broken a couple generations ago. Like, I don't know, we haven't. I can't pinpoint anything in my upbringing that I would say I would not bring over to my kids. I mean, my parents were the typical West Indian parents. My mother was the typical West Indian mother, so I guess I'm bad up. I mean,
believe in licks? I believe in licks.
I never, so that's the thing. I never got hit. I have never been spanked. I don't know. I've never, ever been hit. My sister been getting her ass cut since she could talk.
Oh,
so so it really does depend on the child, and I keep threatening both the boys, like, oh, they just had to grow 5 more inches and bust him out. No, but I don't ever plan on hitting them. But it really is very situational, and it depends on the kid and the situation. Time of place, you wouldn't know until that point gets there. I haven't had to spank them yet, and I mean, they've been doing shit, so I don't know what else they could do to warrant it. No, but I mean, still have a lot of time.
Yeah. For things, it was like, one, I left the schoolyard. Remember where they used to have the monkeys and parrots and stuff behind the school? Like,
yes.
Right. Yes, I left the school grounds, did not tell a teacher, but I went up with my friend and her mom that used to work up there. Went up there, and the whole schoolyard was looking for him. Teachers almost in tears because they lose Rohit and Alana child.
Oh no.
Oh, you had to get your ass cut.
Yep. So Daddy found it actually. He had students in his vehicle, so he kept it. He just watched me, and I just know
that about to be painful.
Lose some skin on my ass. I was like, oh God, okay. So I get in a vehicle. He drop home the students and them. Then he bring me by my grandparents, and he tell my grandparents what I did. And then he watched me and he's like, I'm beating you because you had to stop this nonsense.
He explained
big grown me when I was in school in Canada did not leave the apartment without telling my parents, this is where I'm going, just so you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, that didn't work for me, boy. I never leave that house without saying where I'm going. Ever.
There's still things that are just ingrained in me. I was so tired of telling my parents where I'm. I just have them on the Find My Phone app. Right? Yeah. It's like, Mommy, just check. Just open up. Just check. Stop calling me.
Stop calling me.
Then you can't find me, you know?
I'm afraid to give my mother that privilege because my mother would check and then be like, so you're in XYZ. What you doing there?
I'm not taking part in that conversation.
Thank you. And then Giselle would get involved because I'd be like,
one of them would call. Or both. Or the next day I'd be out here.
I don't even want to have that conversation. I'm just like, yo.
Yeah. Have you heard from your sister wife recently? Sister friend. Because, it's sister friend she's calling you. Sister wife is Kenisha. But have you heard from your sister friend recently? I don't want to do that. I think for me, I would probably stay away from, how parents, I don't know, probably your parents wasn't like this, my mother. It was like more of it's because I said so, and therefore there can't be a conversation about certain things. Like in primary school, that could fly because I'm a child, you're really responsible for me. So whatever you say literally goes, but as I became older and, I was always a questioning child.
Yeah.
I can't go here. Why? Because I don't see anything wrong with it. Like and it would always be like a shove off. And I know if I happen to spawn, one of the spawns has to be like me. And I know that they would love to understand.
Yeah.
And so the aim, I can't say that I would execute perfectly, would be to be able to talk to them. I would slap a pass because that mouth.
I'm gonna need some licks.
That's some knuckles, dog. We will have to fight, but in terms of like understanding at the same time, because I try to talk to the children in school similarly.
Yeah.
And I would definitely want to do it for my child so that, it is not you grow up and you're like, Mommy really didn't help me understand certain things. It was just like a resentment kind of thing. I would prefer that didn't happen. I want them to understand that, they might not like it, but at least they have a reason behind it. So I would stay away from the because I said so.
Yeah. But especially kids now, because they have so much information. It is information overload. It's insane. Like, it honestly, in 2022, it's unrealistic for you to say, well, my kids just won't have devices. They will get devices from one of their friends. There are kids going to
disadvantage to them if you deny them the technology of their time as well. It's
exactly. It doesn't make sense, and once there's an internet connection, they are going to get the information. Connor, go play with your brother.
And they're going to be even more inquisitive because it's new territory and I'm not being policed by mom or dad. So let me see how much I can see.
It's really right now just a test and a matter of teaching them discernment, how to pick bullshit from, clickbait. And how to fact check and all of that, and how to teach them to really just be very critical thinkers and to, read, not just rely on information that's thrown at them, but, do their own research, and reading and all that is important because a lot of people don't do that right now. Anything you see out there is the gospel truth for many people. They don't do their own searches, their own reading. They don't fact check, just whatever comes up, whatever they see in a meme that's it, and there's really so much clickbait out there right now that is really difficult to have that, that mental fortitude without.
I think
so shapeable, it's just.
I think for my end, like, previously I said like the value of like a village, right, is something I want to bring, but the other side of that is the lack of boundaries, which I don't want to bring, right? So quick example, my parents, first generation immigrants, I came from India and America. So naturally everybody that followed relied on them, right? So like my cousins, my other uncles, my aunts, and it was always a mentality of like, oh, well, this is family, so we do what we have to do. But at the same time, stretching yourself so thin. So that narrative of like, I agree, family, you stand by your family, but having an actual boundary of like, I can't do this right now. I need to focus on the kids. So where my parents were like focusing on us kids, but then trying to focus on, helping people get set up, which is fine. But then that narrative just kept kind of going, right? And like you would see I would see my parents like burn out. Like this is like what is happening, handling businesses, your kids, helping these people set up where it's okay to say no, but especially in the Indian community to say something like that. And then it gets back home like, oh, like he said no to me. He couldn't help me. Like, what he doing? Like, so those kind of things of like the lack of being able to set a boundary is something that I don't want to bring in to obviously upbringing whenever those kids ever happen. So
there is another question here about boundaries. If you have already, how do you go about explaining boundaries as it pertains to appropriate and inappropriate or unwanted touching?
Touching?
Yeah.
Literally 2 weeks ago, we started talking about good touch and bad touch. So it started off really well. And it kind of spiraled a little bit. And we had to start all over again. So I was trying to explain what a good touch is and what a bad touch is. So it's like a good touch is when you like the touch, when the touch is okay, and when it's in a place where you don't mind being touched. A bad touch is on you, because we don't use like nicknames or anything like that for their private parts. It's penis and anus and your butt and all these things. I want them to have the anatomically correct names so nobody can pop show them and tell them I'm gonna play with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a bad touch is if somebody touches your penis or your butt or under your clothes and you don't want them to. Any touch that you don't like is a bad touch. Right. So I was asking them, has anybody ever touched you in a bad way? Have you ever had a bad touch? And so Hunter's like, yes. So I was like, oh my God. So like, I literally, like, honest to God, like, I couldn't hear, I couldn't see, like, my senses just stopped working. So I had to gather myself and not show him that I was absolutely terrified. I was like, so tell me about the bad touch. And he's like, well, my friend at school touched me really hard on my shoulder and I didn't like it.
But that's a boundary too. That's a boundary. If I don't like it, I don't
like it. Exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't.
It doesn't matter where or how he didn't like it.
So I didn't want to tell him, no, baby, that's not a bad touch. So I was like, okay, I understand that bad touch. That's great that you know what a bad touch is, but also a really bad touch.
There's a bad touch and a really bad touch.
A really bad touch. You know? So just trying to keep it age appropriate for them, but also not sugarcoating too much to dilute it so that they don't understand. You know, they're because they have so much access to information, and you never know, because they're away from you for so many hours during the day. You really have to arm them with information. And I feel like kids now can handle far more information than we could at that age. You know, so I was like, this is what it is. You need to tell mommy and daddy absolutely everything. Like, even if you're scared to tell mommy and daddy, you can tell grandma and grandpa, grandma and papi, or tell Amma and Appa. You know, these are people who are safe to say anything to. You know, so we had that whole, it went on for like 3 hours because it went in circles until they're like, okay, mommy, we're tired of talking.
They're like, we get it, get out.
Yeah, right now your voice is bad touching me. I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly.
As a mother of boys, are you afraid for them in this season of guilty until proven otherwise, being cancelled and all of those things? Like, you know, how
I honestly can say that I'm not very worried, because I feel like I'm raising gentlemen. You know, like, I'm raising good guys. Like, they're already such good guys. Like, they're already very mindful of being respectful to women and to girls, and that you're more I had never taught them to be more gentle with girls, but for some reason they think that they need to be more gentle with girls. I'm just like, you have to be respectful of girls. You can't touch girls in certain places. You know, you can have friends that are girls and all these things, but just be mindful that you can't lift up a girl's dress, you know. Whereas you can do all these things, banter about with the boy. There's some things that you should not do with the girl unless she is okay to do it with you, you know, like rough hosing these things, because you never know. So I just try to give them as much information as possible, and I feel like they're just in the way that they interact with people and girls and women, I feel like they're already very mindful of it and they're very receptive to it. So I'm not really worried about that. I am very worried. I am very worried that they end up in situations that can be difficult to maneuver, you know? So that does worry me. I'm worried that they have heartbreak, especially Hunter.
Oh.
You know, because Connor, I feel like Connor can survive anything, but Hunter, I feel like Hunter is so sensitive, you know, and the world is just so rough, and Hunter is just such a sweet boy, you know, and so I worry more for Hunter and his gentle soul.
Aww.
You know, Xavier and Connor, not so much. But Hunter, I worry about his gentle soul. But I've never been worried about like the cancel culture and all that with them, because I feel like they'll probably be very prepared for it, especially with the father that they have. They'll be very prepared. They'll be all right.
Oh gosh. All right. I love this question. What is more painful, stepping on a Lego piece, stepping on a toy car, stubbing your toe, or childbirth?
Boy, probably the toy car, right? Because the doors and the mirrors on them toy cars.
The little sharp edges.
Is the sharp, tiny edges. Yo, After they put you lie down, like there's nothing you could do except just lie down right where you stand. Just lie down. Don't do anything else. But yeah, childbirth was not as bad as I thought it would be. They made it sound like actual literal death. But
I actually have a fear of it. Like while I want kids,
I
was scared.
I was absolutely blasted, terrified. But I went in all hunky dory, like, oh, don't offer me the epidural. I don't want it. I'm gonna be all natural. I don't need it.
Oh,
I went in there ready to do this thing natural. But 18 hours in, man, I was like, man, I forget. I give me all the drugs. I tired. I need to sleep. This thing's starting to burn. I don't know if I shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. I want to go to bed.
Basically, what Sharice is saying is that stepping on a toy car is worse than childbirth.
Yes. Stepping on a toy car is where it will shock you to your core.
Yes.
Like, especially when
I definitely have.
Make a run. Step on that thing, like on your heel on a run. Yeah,
nah.
Right.
Like,
all the stories of tearing and all of that, like it's not that bad.
Yo, well, you see, by the time the pushing part came around, I already had my epidural, so like I needed. I think with Hunter, I needed 1 stitch. I was like, can you just give me 2 just for good measure? Like, just give me an extra one. I feel none of that. I was good and drugged up. I gave the anesthesiologist like high five and a hug. I was like, my homie.
The trick is to take the drugs then.
All the drugs. Take all the drugs. I mean, try to stick it out for 2 hours just so you know what to feel like. But other than that, take all the drugs because there's a lifetime of pain to come. You don't need it that day.
That's so hard though. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I had a friend who, like, her birth plan, she was very particular, wrote down a birth plan and all that stuff, and she even said, like, if I don't want the epidural, even if I ask for it, deny me it, so and so. But obviously the doctors can't do that. Like, if the patient's asking for it, they're gonna give it. They're not gonna be like, oh, you're kidding. But and she doesn't regret it. She's like, I don't regret it. Throw that stupid birth plan out the window. Who gives a shit?
That birth plan went out so quick. So quick. So yeah. I had this thing. I was like, don't offer it to me. Don't give it to me if I ask for it. Tell you, on that 18th, I was like, partner, call the doctor with the drugs. I need it.
Light it up.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Oh, gosh.
I need drugs.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry about the dog. It's not my fault.
Who dog is that?
Oh, the neighbor dog. Anyway, last question now we have. What is your go-to supermom recipe to feed the little bitty kitties?
I have one of those.
She's like, they're lucky to get food.
I have one of those.
KFC.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. No, for real. Like, so I try to keep healthy snacks in the fridge where they can get to them, but then half the time they stay there and spoil unless I force feed it to them because they're disgusting. And I try to ban like the junk food from the house, but their father keeps it in the car. So they all, like, literally, I open the car door and it's just wrappers upon wrappers of chocolate and the corn things and all the crap we don't allow into the house. 3 of them sit down in the car eating it. All of them just sit down in the car eating it.
Technically, not in the house, actually. In our house. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I have no go-to because their father gives them all the shit they're not allowed to have. So by the time they come inside here, they don't care what I cook. They don't want what I cook. I couldn't drop the ending on that.
We just had
They just eat pizza and KFC on the way home. They don't want my shit food. They don't want it.
Oh Lord. This has been such a great episode. I think all our faces hurt.
Yeah.
Like, We're laughing this entire. If anybody hears anything that we've said and not just the thunderous laughing, everything you've said, I'll be very surprised. Daryl, be sorry for this edit they'll have to do.
Yeah, because it's really just laughter and some talking. Yeah, but Cherise, you're a fun mom to have on because you're like one of us. And it kind of...
I didn't lose myself.
No, you're so fun.
Being a thing like being a mom to being a mom, because that's where we are at. You know, you look at it when you're small, like, oh my God, you're an adult, you're a parent. And now it's like,
the adults.
I still look around for the adults in the house. Like sometimes they'll be like screaming, mommy, 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 like legit, like 2.5 minutes. And I'm just like, who are they talking to?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who are they calling?
Oh, it's me. I forget.
It's like, oh, it's me. No, for real. I still look for an adult because it cannot be me.
I'm not the mean. That part, eh?
That would be me.
what happened? What did
Me and you equally struggle with the last part.
what was the last part?
And not be mean.
She said it cannot be me.
Oh,
Therese said it cannot be
I'm not
me.
being mean.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, I
struggle with being mean, my friend. It's okay.
I don't struggle with it. I don't struggle.
She goes, I own it.
That's what it is with that. I don't struggle with that.
But Xavier always used to come home and say how much he loved the both of you as teachers. He like always would say how much.
Serious. Well, that was Smith and
it was always really comforting to know that the two of you were there. So like we could call if anything, and Xavier always spoke about how much fun he had with the two of you as teachers.
Aww.
Yeah, always.
It was the year when they put me in that first year when I had to be full-time grade 6 and full-time grade 4.
Yeah.
It was that was a tough year for me. That was a test. That was a test in all my teachers' superpowers. That was a test.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all. I can barely manage mine. Sometimes I wonder if I like mine, and y'all just out here with people's children.
Yeah. It's not easy, and it's not easy when you have several classes.
I don't want to tell any school stories here, but like honestly, I talk to the children like I talk to y'all. And I think that's why
how you should, as you should. These children need real world experience. I hate when people like try to coddle and shelter children. It's like, what do you think is going to happen to them when they get out into the world? What's going to happen? Well, they're going to die.
Yeah, I believe in that. And I always say, like, as a teacher, I feel for parents because I know what the children require of me.
Yeah.
But I could tell you no. I could bop you in your forehead and be like, no, you can't do that. Well, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. Like, I could see a child, like I tell you, I was telling the story. I went down by the baby class and I see my girl she was eating the chalk. As a parent, you have to deal with that. I turn around and I walk back because that's not my class.
She could have pica.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I feel for parents. I mean, I do feel for teachers because I just know, but I feel for parents as well because we spend a lot of time with them. You guys are missing out on a lot of things too, and you want to be there and you want to make sure, but also, it's like a lot for an adult who is working and doing so much on their own with this little person. And it's not one little person you have 2 little persons and a half big person who think he big already.
This man's taller than me now, so there's a whole next he ready.
I saw a picture of him and I was like, it hasn't been that long. Calm down.
Taller than me. I was like,
I literally said that to the picture. Calm down, because I leave school the other day.
Disrespect of you towering over me. Will you stoop?
When you reach in front of me, just calm down.
Exactly. Just put on.
Any child that I have taught that comes back to school or sees me anywhere, first of all, if you're a boy, you would put your pitch up a couple decibels because we're talking.
Yes.
That's one. Two, you would stoop because you didn't live like this. Have some respect. Stoop down so that we're either the same height or I'm taller than you. I don't want to. Honestly,
why they coming at you so aggressive?
I know, right? It's very violent.
What
are you doing?
You gotta be looking up at children. Hi, Miss Cat.
You didn't see them for 2 years and then they pop up.
I'm telling you, what happened to me. So the other day I was on the PTA at the boys' school, right? But when I started back at SGU, I came off of the PTA because I just didn't have time. So I was always at the schools. All the high school kids and the junior school kids, they all knew me. My girl, some of the recently graduated Form 5s, they started at SGU. And a couple of them came running up to me like, hi, Auntie Sharice. I'm like, nigga. I'm not sure. Like, we're all students here.
I kind of like Auntie Sharice. That.
I know. That's so loud.
PTA parents used to all call them Auntie, like Auntie Ali, Auntie this.
No.
No, you're not. Oh, shit.
Listen, no. I was like, I told you. Yo, I was like, stop that, don't ever call me that again. I try to be in the club with all you still.
They didn't know.
Go play with your brother.
He just wants to see himself on camera, dude. He just wants to see. Give him his 5 minutes, man. Well, it's 2 seconds. Give him his 2 seconds of fame.
Like, just trying to be in this thing, man.
Always in my business. Always.
It's like you're talking about me anyway.
Understand?
I might as well be
right. Might as well be here for all of it. Oh, good. Right, so I want to plug your business because I mean we all have experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some stuff. So we're gonna plug it in the chats right now. It's Sun Hunters Grenada. So buggies, y'all have the Jeep tours.
Yeah.
Like the tours are great.
Yep.
The bug. My heart can't take it sometimes.
Don't wear white. Don't wear white.
Don't wear white. I made that mistake.
Don't do your hair and makeup.
The organization said don't wear white.
This is not the photo shoot thing. This is we rock posing in the dust of fun. We're gonna backflip in it. Oh my god. My allergies were up there for days after we did Wuggies. I was like,
oh my god, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun, and
it is a lot of fun for sure.
So all of the just go to Annandale for lunch, so it's like the whole day.
Yeah. So you drove with the buggy and the Jeep tour as well?
The buggies stay in the south. Because by the time you get back down from Annandale, you're going to be sunburnt and exhausted. So,
that's a lot of road in True Bay.
Yeah, it's a lot of road. It's a lot of road. But the Jeeps all come up here for lunch and they head further north.
Oh, nice. Okay, we got to do that one when we come back to.
Yeah.
So hit them up. Tell them you heard about it on Straight No Chaser. Ask for Sharice. Be like, excuse me, can we get the fun mom on the tour, please?
Yeah. You want to talk to the mother?
I'd like to speak to the mom, please. Some boys that need some discipline. Can I bring?
I'm the wrong one. I'll lead them astray. I will let them curse and I'll look the other way.
I read that to the parents, honestly, because cussing is just a normal dog. Oh God. As long as you're not saying the big ones in front of people, because they're important.
I grew up with 5 uncles, and every other word was a really bad word. So it's just fall out of my mouth at this point, so I can't expect them not to use them. It's just time and place, homie. Time and place. Not
time and That's it.
Grandmother.
Everybody needs to know. I just
exactly.
It was been really great having you on here.
Amazing.
We love this episode. Ayana, even with sleep, Ayana loved the episode.
I mean, listen, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a great time. I'm working against myself. This is amazing.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
guys for thinking of me. Thank you very much.
We honestly couldn't think of anybody
Yeah.
better. Like,
Oh, thank you.
Sharice, or if Sharice wants to tell you her acts, you'll see the stories.
Thank you guys. I feel
Thank
special.
you. Thank you so much for coming on and for saying yes.
Of course. I mean, why not share my pain?
She said her pain.
She's so pain.
Yo, my favorite thing
And
is
that's
the
why
honesty.
we needed her. This humor.
It's the honesty. The honesty. She doesn't glorify it. She doesn't make it seem like hell. It's just this
It's
is
a
what it
beautiful
is.
struggle.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's
what
a
it is.
fun
That's
fun
all.
hell.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
that's literally it. It's fun hell. You know,
Fun
like
hell.
we're going to heaven anyway. All of our people are in hell. Down there.
You see, I tell the girls in the chat the other day. I said,
All of them are
someone
down
tell me
there.
go hell. I was like, I already accepted that.
Nobody's working in heaven.
I mean, to be fair, Giselle and I invested in VIP tickets because we really want them comfortable seats.
No, I gave you, but I refunded you the money. I really
know.
tried to go up top.
But follow this kid. I take an Osprey or Romana, go down to hell.
I mean, I was trying to
Rum runner.
charter a catamaran.
You see, I can't take the Osprey ride and I can't take the Osprey smell. Yeah, that's
I was trying to charter a cat for me and my friends, and we just make it a party.
well, not me, babe.
You have to go old school. You have to go old
Get
school
him.
on Romana.
Yeah.
When
That's
you see
what the vibe
on the
thing.
board springing and you're afraid it might go down.
Yes.
Listen, Rum Runner is for when it's for. But when you see I had to make that trip, I really want luxury and comfort. Because
What the hell you going? Where you think you're going?
I know where I'm going, and that's where I want to be comfortable.
Giselle, for me and you, babe. Giselle, the prayer for me and you, baby. Please.
Oh God.
Rohan and Giselle, just sit down and buckle up because we done paid for these tickets already.
I
I
didn't
know
pay.
push
I didn't pay. I
I
didn't pay.
no.
My car didn't have money. I didn't pay.
I got y'all. I pray for you. And all of y'all too by extension. For Muslim. Not you trying to bring the camera back on this side of the room.
It was showing off my things.
All right, guys. And hi, guys. It's been Straight No Chaser. And we had our guest, Sharice. And she was with us talking about being a mom. And it was such a great episode. Thank you so much, Sharice. And thank you to the girls for sharing. And it actually made it a very wonderful, precursor to what could possibly be the future for us. Right? Because my child will be singing Gunman and Jihol in the supermarket.
Yo.
And I would not be embarrassed. Right?
I'd be
So
embarrassed
remember, what is it? It's at Sun Hunters for Sharice's business.
Sun Hunters Grenada.
Right? So at Sun Hunters Grenada. And of course, if you've not followed us yet, please make sure to follow us on Instagram at straightnochaser.podcast. Link in our bio to your preferred platform, or Ayana.
Anywhere you get your podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, or the YouTubes to see our beautiful faces. Thank you guys so much once again for joining us for this episode, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.